a non-college career that you can start in 30 days or less. This is the digital and social media marketing, content marketing 30-day game plan. I highly recommend you stick to it. You don't need college for this. We can get you up and running in 30 days or less. Stay tuned. Welcome, colleagues. I'm George Sloan. This is another piece of the game plan video that gets into digital marketing, social media marketing, content marketing, inbound marketing. Look, uh, I've talked a lot on this channel about the idea of higher education doesn't make sense anymore. There are other ways to do it. I'm not saying you don't continue your education, but traditional higher education, going to college for 4 years, getting an MBA for 2, or going to 4 years of PhD school is not the way anymore. And I've given you all the background foundational ideas on that. And now it's time to give you some actual practical applications that you can apply immediately without using college. And my feeling is that this is going to be an ideal course a course of action you can take when you don't want to do college or you're disappointed with what college gave you. I'm putting this together with the idea of a couple different people in mind in terms of who this might work for. And honestly, I'm going to give a shout out. One of our colleagues, Maddie W., this one is for you. This is the answer. It's what you've been looking for. Let's talk about that. If you are a high school senior and you don't want to necessarily commit to 4 years of college and all that money that's going to get thrown into that, there are alternatives that you can take. And this is one of the best of them. If you're done with college and you're not quite satisfied with how it turned out and you don't want to be slinging coffees, this is a good, solid game plan and you can get up and running fast. If you're in a corporate situation and you're not liking where you're at and you're thinking about going and getting an MBA, this is the game plan for you. One of the things I say all the time is one of the best things you can do instead of getting an MBA is starting a business. This particular game plan, you have basically 3 paths that you can take. One, you can do employment, whether it be with a small, medium, or large company that needs you in-house, or a digital marketing agency. Okay, so there's path number 1, be an employee. Path number 2, you can go and do freelance work. You can be a freelancer. Okay, this is perfect for that. And number 3, you can start your own little digital marketing agency. The progression you might want to take is go do 6 months as an employee, then do some freelance work on the side, and by the end of the year, set up your own business. But to get off and running with this, it's very simple. I highly recommend that you check out the other video. Actually, there's 2, but the other one talks about the 6 HubSpot certifications that I did, not only to research it and check it out for this, but also because I wanted a refresher of my existing knowledge and a little bit of validation. I always like to get a certification when I can. And the best of all, it was free. Okay. So if you're in any of these kind of boxes, so to speak, this is a way to go. And here's why this is so cool. It's future, everyone. It's now and in the future. It's not necessarily going to go away. AI is going to have an impact on it, but not enough that it's going to be noticeable. You're still going to need people. So it's ideal that way. It's also ideal if you're in a situation where you want to have some flexibility. Say you want to work part-time. Well, being a freelancer might be the way to go. Or if you want to have your own business where you can assemble some clients, that too is going to be one of the options you can do here. So say you want to work remote or work from home. Say you have, you're a mother with a new baby, but you still want to do a little bit of work and keep your skills sharp. This is an ideal situation for you. So what do you really need to do to get started? Actually, I'm going to tell you one more thing. The real payoff is if you do want to go the business route, I'm going to tell you in this video or at the end of this video how you can get the 3 ideal first clients that you want that will set your business off and running. And I'll give you the way to get that because I have it in the links and so forth. So, what do you need to get started? I highly recommend you take an inventory of your skills, of your equipment. You need certain things. From a skills perspective, I would get off and running by signing up for a HubSpot Academy account and start taking some certifications. As I explained in the other video, I did it in 3 weeks. I did 6 of them, and I also did another certification that's unrelated. And I was only spending about an hour in the morning, an hour in the evening. Again, we're all busy. I'm busy, you're busy, but there's really no excuse. You can find an hour in the morning, you can find an hour in the evening, and if it's a rainy or snowy weekend, you can spend a few more hours. Ideally, if you don't have other commitments and responsibilities, you can bang this out in 6, 7 days. You can get all 6 of them. But you want to get that started. You then also want to look into some YouTube videos. I will give you a link for a curated playlist that'll give you some resources that you can check out. You also want to think about your getting a few books, especially on copywriting, because a lot of digital marketing, you still have to have the basics of copywriting. And I've put together a list that I will include. You can get the link to get to it, and it's free. I think I put together 16 of them to get you started. Some of them are real easy reads. You don't need to read them all at once, but I think it'll give you a good foundation. You want to watch some YouTube videos on, you know, basic copywriting. You will probably want to learn a little bit about AI. I highly recommend you get a little bit of a background, particularly in, say, ChatGPT, for example, or if you like, using Claude. There's a couple of options. Again, and all this stuff is free. Equipment. You probably already have the stuff you need. If you have a smartphone with a decent camera and you have a laptop, you've got 75% of what you need to do this job or this business. Okay. You may also need a microphone. You may need a lighting setup. Gotten for $50 or so. Okay. The books, the 16 books, you're probably going to spend about $100 on, if you go and get 10 of them. Okay. It's a real simple situation. You're not having to spend a lot of money. It's a quick start. So for under $2,000, counting the phone and the laptop, you can get off and running in this very quickly, and you can get these certifications in a matter of a couple of weeks. And if you're really ambitious, you can bang it out sooner. So I talked about what skills you need. Again, you need some basic computing skills. You should know how to use an Office suite, whether it's MS Office or it's Google product that's free. You probably want to get some software. Again, you probably need some editing software. CapCut has a good free product, and then it's premium, but it's a good way to get started. OpenAI has ChatGPT. There's a free version and paid versions. Again, start with the free one. Don't overinvest. Get started. Gotta crawl before you can walk, before you can run. And I've actually extended that backwards, but we'll keep it real short on this one. The thing to keep in mind is that this can be done relatively quickly, and you can get up and running and start, and you have those options. So again, I would recommend that you look at some of the videos. I will put a curated playlist. I would recommend that you put a goal on this. I would try to get the whole thing up and running in 30 days. Get yourself all the certifications. Make sure you know how to use your equipment. Get acquainted with some of the software. CapCut, it took me probably a day or two to get comfortable using it. I don't trim my videos much more than the front end and the back end because I prefer kind of raw video anyway. Let's see. There are other courses and certifications you might want to consider, but the bottom line is you can get up and running. Now, while you're doing this, start reconfiguring your resume if you want to get a job, or start creating some product samples and work samples that demonstrate that you can do some of this stuff. Write some headlines, write some posts, write some um, customer journeys. Get a little bit of a portfolio together. As you're going through the certifications, I would think about stopping a little bit and doing some of the the workbooks and exercises that they have in there, and you can kind of create this thing as you go. Within 30 days, you should have what you need to go and either get a job, or go and get some freelance work, or go and start a little business. And let's talk about that one. I will give you access to some free materials I put together that looks at what the types of jobs are, what the pay is, what freelance pay looks like, and what business pay looks like. But the real key, and you're going to be sitting there asking yourself, well, how do I get started? There are 3 clients that you want to get. You only need one of them to get rolling, but there's 3 of them that you want, because they will open the door to a whole bunch of clients. Now, you're sitting there going, oh, I don't have a lot of experience. Here's what I recommend you do. Look, if you were going to go spend 4 years and pay $200,000 to $300,000, would it be too much to ask of you to say, hey, I'll go to one of these ideal clients and offer my services for free for 2 to 3 months? Would that be worth it to you? Oh, I should get that. No, you're willing to go and pay $200,000 to $300,000 to get a college education. You're not telling me that you wouldn't spend, even in your spare time, because this doesn't necessarily have to be done full time. You can be working somewhere else and do this in the evenings. You wouldn't spend 2 to 3 months doing some work for one of these clients that, if you demonstrate your value, not only will you have them as a client going forward, but these 3 ideal client types, if you can get one of them, that will open the door to a whole bunch. I'm not going to give it away. You're going to have to get it. It's free, but you're going to have to go to the link to pull it. But I have 3 of them, and that is super valid reasons for why you would go for one of these 3. Um, my feeling is that this is an ideal game plan. It's quick, low investment. You probably already have what you need, so you don't have to lay out a whole lot of money. And moms and dads or grandparents, if your son, daughter, grandson, granddaughter is unsure about college or not happy with college, this is an ideal situation to suggest to them. By the way, I'm going to back up a little bit. This is not to make you some social media influencer. If you are interested in becoming a social media influencer, I admire your dreams and your aspirations, but this game plan isn't really for you. So maybe you go off, and good luck to you. But for the people that want to build either a career path or a business path in this particular realm, it's highly lucrative. It's easy to get into from the perspective of all you have to do is put a little effort into it, and you don't have to start off with major investments. You don't need fancy equipment. As I say, you probably already have what you need. So I'm just, let me check my notes here. The whole game plan idea is, this is a way for you to sort of turbocharge your getting into this realm, getting a career rolling. And by the way, if you decide down the road it's not for you, then you can always do something else. But why go and waste all that money in college in 4 years to find out what you can find out right now? I don't know. We live in a different world. A lot of these tech companies, they don't want or require college. They want skills and abilities. And going and getting certifications in this stuff, this is a game plan that can get you rolling in this particular track. I'm going to be building out other approaches and game plans. This was the first one I wanted to start. Again, Matty W., this one's for you. But I would highly recommend you check out the other video that talks about how I did the certifications. Again, we eat what we cook. I did not want to just recommend something that I hadn't tried out. And my feeling is HubSpot is the way to go. There are other ones that you can do. Now, if you want to do more analytic work and more heavy duty marketing, there are ways to do that, and I'll probably do a separate game plan for that. But this is, digital content, social media marketing, inbound marketing. This is all, it's really direct response marketing or advertising. But this is a solid career path. And again, these jobs or these businesses pay very, very well. You don't need a whole lot of time to get into it. And once you do, it kind of snowballs. So I would recommend you check out the links below. Get the free materials. I put a lot of time and effort into them. I analyze what the types of jobs are, what the responsibilities are, and what the money looks like, which is the important part because this is a career and we want to be rewarded. I highly recommend you check those out. The links below or the pinned comment. I want to thank you for joining us. I'm George Sloan. This is the Myford University channel. I may also put it on the MBA Accelerator channel. Please subscribe, give us a like, give us a share. And I will probably be doing the next game plan on getting into project management, which is what I am. But this one was the one I want to get started with because, as I say, this one's very quick. Project management takes a little bit more work. But the bottom line is you can get into this fast and it will be a viable solution for those that question traditional higher education and those who are looking for remote work from home opportunities or a good small business opportunity. I want to thank you again. Learn fast, apply it faster. We'll see you the next time.